Hello, everyone. We are a team that works on the topic E1773, investigate and fix Expertiza production version runtime exceptions. So, what our project is about is that uh, there are actually runtime exceptions reported in Expertiza in a production environment. And it is these bugs are actually reported to an online debugging tool called Airbreak. So these errors are tracked and reported statistically to Airbreak. And our goal for this OSS project is to fix the top 10 runtime exceptions ranked by occurrence. So actually, if you take a look here, you can see all these different runtime exceptions, and they are listed by occurrence count. So getting back to our page here, by investigating into the top 10 errors from Airbreak, we actually looked beyond the top 10. We actually looked beyond. We actually looked actually the top 20 errors because some of the errors are caused by the same problem. So fixing one will fix generally all of them. So we can classify these errors into four different categories. And the first one is no method error, undefined method for neo class. And then there is action not found error, and also an invalid authenticity token error and record not found error. So basically, uh, for the first error, we can uh, investigate it by looking at the report from Airbreak. So take a look at this method row not found for neo class. Uh, this is the URL where this error occurs. So if we go to this URL by under development environment instead of the production environment, so it actually succeeded. And take a look at this report. The last occurrence of this error was 5 months ago. So I believe this error could have been fixed in the current version of Expertiza. Also, briefly, for the first error and the second one, they are exactly the same, but they occurred without a backtrace file, so we couldn't find why it's occurring. But we actually searched online, and it says there is a gem called passenger that is used, which is causing this error. I couldn't find any passenger gem in this app, but looking at the trace file generated by this arrow. So we can see here there is a fusion passenger used somewhere in the app in the production environment, but it's probably uninstalled due to the occurrence of this arrow, but it remains in the trace files for some reason. Okay, these are the number one no method error that we fixed, four of them. And second one is action not found. Action not found is actually due to the routing method that is coded in this app. Let's take a look at the file here, the code file here. So the first one is auth controller. So previously it's coded like using resources auth. So by using resources, the Rails actually created the RESTful routes by default for you. It includes show, index, create, update, edit, and new actions. All of these actions are actually not needed and not defined in the controller. So what we did here is we edited the routes to just keep the two routes that is useful to us. Here, the two posts, mainly for user to log in using it. And then we redirect any other invalid routes to the root page, which is the next line defined here. So anything that's other than these two post routes will be redirected to the roots. And we can do this because we have investigated the controller actions. And there are only two actions useful. One is login and another one is logout. And all the other actions are actually class methods. So we can do this here. And then for some other arrows, routing arrows in the controller includes this response controller. So the response controller arrow, as you can see here, it occurs in localhost response / view, ID equals 91251. So this is where the arrow occurs. So basically, we did the same thing for this arrow too. So we add a get / star path to redirect any invalid links or URLs to the response / pending service, so that any exposure of links to the users in the app, as when user click on this, they will be redirected to this response pending service direction instead of an invalid link that will giving us a runtime exception error. We also investigate the third and the fourth errors. So, oh, by the way, the second fix actually fixed more than four exceptions. But since we are only investigating the top 10, so we are not discussing them here. And third one and fourth one, the fourth one is due to conflict in the database. Something cannot be found in the database. And the third one is actually due to the expiration of the token generated by a gem, and the exception is raised manually when the token is expired. So if we want to get rid of this token, get rid of this error message, we can just ignore or delete the raise exception line in the code. And it totally depends on us. But the risk is if we delete it, there might be a risk of the website being hacked by some malicious users. Okay, these are mainly the goals that we achieved during this project. And thank you for your time and listening. And if you have any questions, please contact us. And our contact information will be on the wiki page. Thank you.